And he always say one thing, without you all today, we will not be here.
Super. I think the celebration of people.
Yeah, and also we give also the opportunity. We give the opportunity to people to develop within us. Some people, they started like salesmen. Today they are directors. Some of them, they start like cleaners. Today they are F&B directors in our properties, in our hotels, and so on. So we keep looking after them, because we know that at the end of the day, the loyal people, they're the one who's gonna have the same feeling. It's like when you
Ownership.
pinch your arm, you feel it, they feel it also.
Super. I think very, very profound thoughts. Let us move from Mohammed Al Habtoor, the business person, to Mohammed Al Habtoor, the family person. I'm sure you're blessed with 6 wonderful children. What kind of lessons do you impart to them?
Yeah, I mean, I have 3 boys and 3 girls, and the youngest is 5 years old, and the eldest is 22 plus. And the 2 eldest boys, they are very good polo players. They started after me, they were kids, but they are now better than me. But if there's any media here, don't write it. So they're very good polo players. I push them to play polo. But then, now they are pushing me to play tournaments. They left, I wish they were here, but they left yesterday to England because they have a big tournament there, and they're playing. Because they were like, we want to play in England for the tournament, so I sent them to play there, a great tournament, which my father is going to attend because he's there already. And I don't really, both of them, they go to university, including my daughter also. I didn't tell them exactly what they have to study, but I asked them what they want to study.
From what your father did.
I'll tell you one thing. I mean, you cannot compare the old days with these days today. It's different. I mean, they're not like me when I was a kid. And when I was their age, they're not like me. When I was 22, I was a responsible person. My father told me to marry at that time 22, and I got married 22. Today, I told my father 3 days ago, when my son, Habtoor, his name, when Habtoor is getting married, he said to me, not now, and he's 22 and a half. He said to me, it's too early. I looked at him, I said to him, then why did you push me to marry at 22? So the days are different, and the time is different. But, this time is a little bit dangerous not to watch your kids all the time. Before, if I stay outside the house, like from after school, 1 o'clock until 8 o'clock in the evening, my father and mother, they will not look for me because they know that the area is safe. Today, with all the bad things happening, you have to watch them. Even my credit card, their credit card, the telephone message, I get it. So I know exactly where they are. So they don't know this. But now they know. Because one of them changed his bank account. So he's the eldest one. He changed his bank account. It's fine now. He's fine. I'm not worried about him. But you see, when they went to university, I asked them what they want to study. They said to me, we want to study this one. I thought about it, thought about the company. Are they going to fit somewhere? Yes, they're going to fit. Good, go do it. And my other son, the same story, and my daughter. So I didn't really put pressure on them on what they have to study.
The modern father.
Yes.
How do you balance? You have a busy schedule. You're a father, you're a business professional, you're a sports enthusiast. I also know that you're involved in a lot of charitable initiatives, including the Emirates National Development Program. How do you balance all this? I think there'll be a lot of interesting insights on all this. We all have only 24 hours.
I have to be, to be honest, I have to be Superman to tell you that I do everything. But we have the right team, and we have the right people who are handling different things. And they all report either to me or to the chairman, and or to both of us at the same time. I spend, for example, every day 2 hours in the morning with my father. Yeah,
Even
2 hours in the morning and maybe half an hour in the afternoon. That's in the office. So whenever there is a meeting or you have maybe courtesy visitors, I'm there. Even if some of the stuff like I'm not involved in, that more to his personal things, whether when he was doing the autobiography, he had lots of meetings at that time. It took like over 2 years to do it. I was called in some of the meetings, to hear exactly, and maybe not only me, but some of also the directors to take their opinion.
Share that.
To share their opinion. As we said earlier, we have the right people who are handling the right positions, and we have the right committees also, that they manage everything and just report back to us.
Super. So the key lessons that you're getting out of this is, again, empowerment, teamwork,
Definitely.
belief in people.
Because, I mean, you cannot say that there is one person can do everything. If one person will do everything, what about if he's tomorrow sick? What will happen?
Absolutely.
Paralyze the business?
Absolutely.
Stop everything? No. So you have to have the right people. Tomorrow you're going for a few days holiday, you're sick, you're injured. I play polo, I can be injured at any time. So we have the right people that they're empowered, as you said, and also they know exactly what they have to do, and they know, after all these years that they've been with us, they know exactly the business mentality of the chairman and myself, how we want things to happen.
Excellent. Last few questions. Now, that brings us to the succession planning. How do you plan the future of this big group that's now 40,000 multi-diverse industries? Where is it the next level for Al Habtoor Group?
People budget for the next year. People start now, maybe after summer, to do budget for 2015. We actually do 2021-22 now. So we know exactly what we have to do for the next 10 years of projects, business, expanding locally, regionally, internationally. We make lots of studies. You won't believe it, almost every day. Every day we look at things, very closely about the future. What's going to happen 2020, and then 2021, what's going to happen, and so on. So we have our strategy and plan for this. But as we always say, the sky is the limit. It doesn't mean that if I finish a few projects I have here, or buy another hotel in Europe, or building an apartment building, I will just sit and lay back on my back, then what I will do? Everything is running, to keep myself busy and to keep my cash rolling, I have to continue of my future projects. I know that we're building now the Habtoor city, but soon we're going to announce things that for 2018, 19, 20, 21 also. So there is my father thinking and plans, which has to be implemented by us. Plus, we have to bring this company one day, and instead of, let's say if we are top 100 in the region, maybe I want to be maybe top 10. So this is our plan, to bring Al Habtoor Group to really the company that's known internationally in their business, in their success, ethic, and as we say, success, and then of career for many of the employees around.
Good. One last question till we throw the floor open for the audience to ask questions. 40 years from now, we are 2014, 2054, God willing. What is it that you want the world to say about you as a person? Mohammed Al Habtoor was. I want you to complete that in your own words.
There will be a laugh at that time.
Whatever. But what do you want them to think about you? I know you've accomplished quite a lot in this young age. Not many people have done that. But 40 years from now, what is the legacy you want to leave your grandchildren?
If you think now, you just put Steve Jobs on the screen. Of course, Steve Jobs is a different case. Everybody's dreaming to be one time at one point of their life, Steve Jobs, even like to be for 5 minutes, Steve Jobs. What I think that everybody wants to be remembered.
Absolutely.
Something very positive.
Absolutely.
You know, and like definitely I want to be like the example of a businessman, which is, I don't consider, I mean, I'm very small businessman, a little one. I don't know what people think, but this is what I think of myself. I don't want to say I'm a businessman now. Even though I did good things in my life in business, of course, there is also bad things that happen. But one day, in 54, you said, 54, I want people to say that what a businessman that brought the company of his family to this level after the chairman, which is my father, which is I want to continue the legacy and the legends of Al-Habtoor Group for the next 40 years and even more higher. As I said, I want to be top 10 one time in the region, if it is not in the world maybe, you know, if we are all successful in this region, plus the world. And also I want to be remembered as a good father of family.
Brilliant.
And when I say a family, I don't talk about my children only. I talk about like, because my presence now, there is my father and there is me who look after the family. When I say family, I mean my sisters, my mother, my brothers, and the rest of the nephew, the nieces, everybody is just me. I want to be like remembered as like I was a good father of the whole family.
Super. And if you have to encapsulate the essence of what this wonderful person said, I mean, again, I go back to the fundamentals, a warm human being. Humility, patience, down to earth, learning from the basics, trusting people around, and I think these are remarkable qualities that has made Mr. Mohammed Al-Habtoor what he is. What we'd now like to do is, for the next 15 minutes, take questions from the audience, and then I'd like to wrap it up with another celebration video for this wonderful person, and then we adjourn for the night.
Mohammed, fantastic. You have shared with me so much that's brought back wonderful memories of my time at the Australian consulate when I actually had meetings with your father, when we talked about business enterprises that we could possibly bring to the UAE from Australia. I just wanted to ask you, finally, Sheikh Rashid's promise to your father has come true. There is an airport in Jebel Ali, finally. And I mean, that's why he built the Metropolitan in the first place, because Sheikh Rashid promised him an airport in Jebel Ali. Are you going to be building down in Jebel Ali?
But they built it too far. Okay. Because when my father built the hotel, when Sheikh Rashid called my father early morning, he told him, meet me, and then went and told him, I want you to build a hotel here. So my father looked behind him, and he saw like, he couldn't see even one building. At that time, you can see the beach. Jumeirah, there was nothing, just a few houses, villages, like every 20 houses together. And then there was the central military base also behind it. Then he told them, just build it, and we will see what, I'm building an airport here. Anyway, he passed away, Sheikh Rashid, at that time. After my father built the hotel, he was sick for a time, so the project was postponed. And then, as you see now, the airport is a little bit far. The first time I visited the airport was last week, when I took my father to the airport when he was traveling. So we lost the way. It took us 45 minutes to reach. So, but it's a beautiful location. There's a big future for that airport. To come back to your question of building something closer to the airport, we had a few discussions about this. Actually, the government are now pushing to develop next to the World Central real estate hotels, 4-star categories, and etc. So we started the discussion in the office a couple of times last week. But we will wait a little bit until we see what happens.
I found what you said about polo is very interesting. It seemed like that you were actually learning and networking while you're enjoying your preferred and personal sport. I want from you to share more with us. How do you keep learning as a CEO of a big company?
So just by thinking about projects, and as the time passing, it's like starting 90s and the 2000 and now 2014, tomorrow's 2015. So things are in the whole world are changing, and there is a new method, new strategies of doing business, and so we almost learn everything. You employ new directors, they come with the new ideas, they give you learn from them. We learn from everywhere. I mean, you look at the TV, you learn. So, and we meet people at the polo, like they are very strategic people that I meet in the polo. They are very powerful in the world, whether they are big bankers or chairmen or CEOs. So we learn from them, like everyone. It's not only me.
When it comes to, in the GCC, the UAE is very advanced when it comes to women empowerment. The statistics are now that most women, 75% of the graduates graduating university now in the UAE are women, but that doesn't really transfer into the workplace. So my question to you is, since you have 3 daughters, what do you envision in terms of their future for your daughters?
Last week I was at the Sharjah, American University of Sharjah, and I came to know that 70% of the government employees in Sharjah are women.
Wow.
70%. So you cannot compare us to the other countries around. We are very advanced in many things, not only in empowering the women in whether the private sector or the government sector. But as I said, I gave my daughter, my first daughter in the university, the next one maybe in 2 years. I gave her the choice what she wants to study. So she said, I want to be a psychiatric. So I laughed. I said, oh, is something wrong with me? And then I told her, okay, then after this, what you will do? She said, I will be the special consultant of the family.
Wow.
This is what she said. I said, great. We all need, because of the work and the business and the things we do, we're busy. We need, like, at the end of the day, somebody to come and calm us down. So we need to buy the bench, for her when she finished. So for sure, like, as I gave them the choice for university, I will give them the choice also.